Okay, so this is a recent IELTS cue card. The question is, talk about your favorite website. Please say what is it about, and how often do you use it and why? Well, before moving to the answer, as I usually recommend, every student should very wisely use the 1 minute time that the IELTS people give you for brainstorming. And during this 1 minute, quickly jot down the points that you find interesting or the points that you find important. So what could be possibly be the wide range, the macro, if I talk about the macro picture, what could be the possible macro picture of these websites? Well, firstly, it can belong to a huge category of social media websites. So you can quickly jot down, okay, I'm going to talk about a social media website such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, something like that, okay? Then, this is a first category. If you're not interested in social media, you can talk about entertainment websites. Entertainment websites. Um, Third, you can talk about is the e-commerce websites. E-commerce websites such as Amazon, there are a number in India. It's Flipkart, and I'm sure there are e-commerce websites in your area as well. Another is eBay. Okay, there are numerous e-commerce businesses, and people often visit these websites to surf about new products and, in some cases, services. Another e-commerce website, famous one, is Alibaba. Okay, so that's another e-commerce website. Fourth category you could talk about is the news category. Okay, I regularly visit news portals such as New York Times or name it, Washington Times that Amazon people recently acquired, or in India, if you are in India, it's Times of India. So talk about the particular newspaper. Why do you visit this newspaper's website? Okay. So once you've decided the broad category, move in a very structured format. From broad category, move to the smaller one. Okay, it's Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. Okay. Then what is it about? Explain what Facebook is about. Explain what Twitter is about. So if I talk about Twitter, Twitter is uh, Twitter is a great platform. Now, you're not required to give a definition of Twitter or what other people say about it. You can generate your own definitions. Twitter is about sharing your thoughts or ideas in about 280 characters. I'm sorry. So in about 280 characters, and it is one of the best places to read news. Okay. Um, how often do you use it? So I'm sure you can all say that I use these websites very frequently. So um, if you are very clear what it is about, you can clearly answer how often do you use it and what is the reason. Okay, it's not it's not as important about the ideas as it is about the structure of the response. So what is it about? You should very clearly mention what the website is about, okay? And the more structured or organized your response is, the better it is. So, for example, Twitter has two main purposes. Two main purposes. First is the sharing of ideas, and secondly, it is a great source for news. So, when you say firstly, and secondly, and before that you say it has two main reasons for its existence, that gives a very structured response. Similarly, uh, let me pick Amazon. Okay, let us talk about Amazon. How would you say, what does Amazon do? Well, Amazon is a great website that is primarily engaged in um, sale of 5 categories of products. These are, firstly, books. Second is technology. Third, entertainment. Fourth is, let me call it, clothes. Or and fifth is, well, what should I say, makeup. Now, I've not learned these things anywhere. Okay, during the 1 minute, that's why you get 1 minute. You quickly write down. Okay, you come up with just 3 things: books, technology, and entertainment. Okay, so instead of this 5, you can say Amazon is primarily about 3 things, or it is engaged in sale of 3 categories of products. First is books, technology, and entertainment. Okay, so what it does is it gives a magic to your answer. It gives a very structured response. Let us talk about a news website. Okay, let us talk about the New York Times. Okay, New York Times is a great news portal or a news website that primarily gives news about 3 main categories. First is politics. The second is business. And third is geopolitics, or what we call international affairs, international, um, you know, the relations between different countries. So the purpose is that it is primarily engaged in publishing news related to 3 items: politics, business, geopolitics, or international relations. You can also call it international relations. So that gives your answer a very structured response. And that's what IELTS people are looking forward to, an organized response. So just don't give a messy answer or a chaotic answer. Try to give a very structured response, okay? How often do you use it? Now, how often do you use it? That's easy. I use it very frequently on a daily basis, almost on a daily basis, since I surf this website for more information regarding my surroundings, or since I surf this website to find out whether there is a really attractive deal on a particular product. The more important part is why. Why did you surf it? So that's the since part. Since or because. Now, here again, just like question number 2, you have an option to give a structured or organized response. You can give an organized response. So why do you visit this website? Okay, so for example, let us talk about the New York Times or any any news website. Why do we read news? Okay, well, I visit this website frequently or on a daily basis, primarily because it is a great source of understanding the world around me. It is a great source of understanding the world around me. Then you can explain what exactly I love to learn about how politics, business, and international affairs, that is, these 3 areas, impact my life. So understanding the world and how it impacts my life. Secondly, I read this on a regular basis to strike a conversation, strike a healthy conversation with my bosses or with my teammates, so that we can have good relations, or so that we have channels of communication, so that we have good relations. That's a better word, I guess. So that we have good relations, or still better is so that I can have some networking opportunities. That is, I can connect with the people. Okay, when you meet someone, what do you talk about? You talk about politics, weather, business. So if you do not read newspapers, you cannot strike that conversation. Okay, So what I mean to say is you can think about any two things during the brainstorming session and give an organized response. Give an organized response, okay? So there are a lot of things that you can do in this answer, and I'm sure I've given you a lot of options. The basic idea behind this video was that you can give an organized response that will be beneficial in scoring better bands. I hope you liked the video. Please share it with your friends and anybody who is preparing for the exam, and keep coming back for more exciting videos. Thank you for watching.